Yes, we know how much you've missed us here. Once again, welcome to United and Everything Football. This is a new month where the Premier League kickstarts just in about 2 weeks. United will be playing the first game. Preparations are still ongoing in respect of the Community Shield that will be coming up next week. So we are here to discuss everything that's been happening with regards to the preparations ahead of the new season. Welcome to the new month. This is United and Everything Football. I'm here with Kwame Entry. We are here to do the do with regards to everything around the club, everything in between. The news keeps coming. Some is it deja vu, some PTSD, some whatever you call it. Lenny Euro out for 3 good months. Lenny Euro is out for 3 good months. Rasmus Højlund is out for 6 months and a few other things. So we'll be
6 weeks. 6 weeks. Don't make it worse than it. Don't make it worse than it is.
I'm sorry.
I want us to pull up this picture. David De Gea posted it, said it a couple of years ago.
Yes.
So he feels like Manchester United is cursed. We feel like we are cursed right now. Honestly,
we are cursed. We are cursed. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know what the problem is. So anyway, so that's our. Let's make a quick turnaround. When I come back, we have everything to discuss here on United and Everything Football Podcast. All right, thank you very much. This is United and Everything Football Podcast. This is a very quick one. We are not going to discuss a lot more. We are having some plans for you. Very soon you'll get to know of it.
Massive plans.
Massive one. Massive one. Anyway, Kwame, yesterday we're in action against Real Betis in the Snapdragon Cup at the Snapdragon Stadium in Sunday. We had players playing 60 minutes, getting 60 minutes into the tank. Hitherto, we were playing 45 minutes. But we went down by a goal. And before the end of the first half, we were leading by 3-1. The performance, I liked it. I did. But generally, what's your thoughts? How did you see the game yesterday?
I think yesterday was clear evidence that we've been building something over the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah,
I've looked at our preseason games this way, in all honesty. It's been 45 minutes, 45 minutes, 45 minutes, and 60 minutes. I don't care about the rest of the halves. In fact, I've not been watching the rest of the halves, except for yesterday's 15 minutes of the second half.
Yeah.
So in my estimation, we've played 0-0 against Rangers.
Yes.
We've played
Rosenborg. 0-0 against Rosenborg.
0-0 against Rosenborg.
Yes.
We beat Rangers by 1-0. We drew with Arsenal 1-1. They even scored an offside goal. Yes. Actually a 1-0 victory. And we won yesterday by 3-1. That's how I'm looking at it. Because the rest have just been garbage time. A lot of youngsters coming in and just, I don't know what they've been doing.
Yeah.
I have not been watching, so I don't even know what they've been doing. With respect to the main team yesterday, that was a top-notch performance. But the goal that we conceded, which I think was a very bad goal to concede.
Yeah.
I don't know what our goalkeeper
Tom Heaton.
He was doing also. So it was like you saw you're playing a video game and then you see a glitch. There's a glitch in the video game.
Yes.
It looked like a glitch, like he made a save, but then he swatted the ball backwards.
Squash the ball somewhere. But he said that he has been a bit rusty. You know, he's not kept post for a very long time.
But this is someone who went to the Euros.
He went to
they don't have a break.
Train coaches, goalkeepers. He went to just be a cone for the.
I think it's about time he actually even retired. This should probably be his last season playing professional football.
He's a positive guy who is always around the teams. I mean, when you hear him speak, he's seen as a leader, and that's why normally the national team is
like Evans. He's been at this club for a very, very long time.
Very, very long.
Like take away his spells away from the club. Like he's been there since he was a kid.
He was there
so he knows
when Van Nistelrooy was playing for United back in the day. Those who don't remember, he was a youth player at that time. Yeah,
he messed up, but then we quickly bounced back with an equalizer from the penalty spot, but the player who brought about that penalty, Amad Diallo is on fire.
Yes.
He's on smoke. He's unstoppable. He's a man on a mission. Yeah. I don't call him a boy anymore. He's 22 years old. He's been at this club for 4 years. There was a point in time I'd almost given up on him. I'm not going to be discreet about it. Somewhere last season, when he did come back from injury, he wasn't getting playing time. I was like, I think it's time, because if you've been at this club for over 3 years and you're not making any headway, then I don't know what the future holds for you. His contract too was running down. I think there's left for just 1 year left with the possibility of a 1 year extension. But then that Liverpool game, I think, changed everything. And he's never looked back ever since. But this preseason, my word, every single game I've seen him play, it looks absolutely electrifying.
Yeah.
The thing is, his close control, his pace, and now his strength.
Yes.
He's all of a sudden, he just looks strong. You can't just shrug off the ball.
Yes.
You would have to pull him down, tag him down. And I think it's all down to confidence right now. He feels like it's part of it. Yeah. I think for a long time, he's never felt part of it because his career has always been stop-start at United. Yeah. He's had a loan spell at Rangers that didn't really go well. But then after everything that happened at Sunderland, I'm sure he came back thinking, you know what, this is my year. And then he had another injury. Yeah. But now, I'm hoping that these injury issues are behind him. And whatever that we are seeing now,
it's what
continues into the season. Because in all honesty, that right-hand spot, I don't see any player who should be starting ahead of him right now on current form.
True.
Just based off the preseason alone, on current form. He should be starting. The second goal, it was such a clean strike. It's reminiscent of his strike against Newcastle last season.
And even the Rangers game too, the same thing. The same
clean strike. When he hits it, the ball stays hit. The ball doesn't have any spin to it. It's just arrowed into the corner. Yeah. The Rangers one was a bit more like, he puts a bit of bend into the corner. But this was like off the laces, clean.
It really erased the net. I mean, you see that.
I tell you, it was a stunning finish.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was provided by AMAD. Harry AMAD, from the young 17-year-old left back, who finally he showed a lot of people what all the hype has been about. Because in the couple of preseason games leading up to this, it's either he didn't start the game, or when he did start, he just played for a short period of time against Arsenal, for instance. And they make much of an impact compared to what we saw yesterday.
Yes.
Yesterday, that boy was bombing up and down the flank like a young Luke Shaw, basically like a young Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
And his tenacity, he's got a bit of a bite about him, his tackles, you know what I mean? Like he gets stuck in. Yeah. He's not somebody to hold back. He actually gets stuck in. And that's a very good trait to have for a 17-year-old. But I've been drumming about us signing a left back, but it looks very much like maybe the club is going to look, like Dan Ashworth said, we'll probably have to look within first to see whether there are solutions. And if we look within and we don't find the solution, then we go out there. So I'm thinking from what we've seen in preseason so far, this coaching staff will be looking at that kid and saying, probably we have the solution in here. Yeah. Why block the pathway for him? Because that's what we do. At Manchester United, we offer a pathway to our academic graduates more than any other big team in the world, in my opinion.
Yes.
If you're young enough, you're good enough. It's been a policy since God knows how long.
Youth, courage, success.
Exactly. So I think what they're going to do is actually give that kid a chance. He was awesome. Yeah. And then Rashford scored the first goal from the spot. He looked sharp.
Yeah.
Marcus Rashford looked very sharp.
Yes.
He's looked sharp. We've been hearing it, like the press have been briefing that he's been looking sharp in training and everything. But you look at the Arsenal game, you could see bits of it. But yesterday, you could actually see, this is probably a boy who knows he can't go another season off again. He's never actually done that before, where he's gone 2 seasons that go bad. I think he's going to make a statement.
His form goes with the United form as well.
Basically, he's basically the definition of what we've been over the last 9 years. When we go down, he goes down. When we are going up, he goes up with us. So we are due an upward trajectory this season. So I'm sure his form is also going to go up from the lowly form that he showed last season. He showed bits and pieces of Unfortunately, he came off with an injury after he got. That was a stonewall penalty. That was a terrible tackle.
On any day.
But fortunately, yeah, it was terrible. Fortunately, we hear it's an impact injury is not a contact injury is not that bad. Thank God, because we can't deal with another injury. I'm sure we'll get into the injury situation soon. Yes. And then the third goal was scored by Casemiro. I think it was a corner from AMAD, assisted by Rashford and then Casemiro at the end. That Casemiro goal was typical of almost all his goals that he scored for Manchester United, almost all of them, where he's at the end of things in the box. He's supposed to be a defensive midfielder, but then almost always finds himself. He has this knack for.
He's a big guy. He's a big guy. So normally when you want people in the box for set pieces, you always find him there. You know, normally in set pieces, you find the big boys in there. Harry Maguire is there because there are people who can dominate the air, who can do all sorts of things with the ball. So normally coaches would prefer that these players have the opportunity to be in there. So I'm not surprised he's always in there in the box during corner kicks and all of that.
But aside his goal, he was sharp too. Casemiro looks sharp. He looks sharp. He looks fit.
Yeah.
Last preseason, Casemiro came in looking like somebody who sells kebab in a kebab shop. He was
even looking
fat. Chubby. That's the word, chubby. It's a more decent word to use than saying fat. This world is sensitive right now. He looked chubby, and as bad his shape was that preseason, I'm sure it carried all the way through last season. I mean, if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail, basically.
Yes.
And I think he had not prepared well leading up to the season. It's all about standards at the football club. Like I told you privately, I think he came into the first season and then our standards weren't as high as Madrid's. I think we're happy with the Carabao Cup and then the Champions League spot. And I think he just eased off, thinking, it's so easy. Yeah. But it wasn't so easy. The season taught him quite a lesson. And I think he's come back as a man on a mission to prove a point that prior to his form last season, nobody ever knew Casemiro to ever be a bad player, ever in his career.
Yes.
Not even for any season. People all of a sudden started tagging him as finished and whatnot and whatnot. Yeah. What I do personally think is he's turned down the opportunity to leave this football club.
Yeah.
Just to stay at Manchester United and prove a point to everybody else that he's still a top player.
Yes.
Even if this would be his last season, he's just out there to prove a point. And Erik ten Hag has sort of made a statement by making him captain in almost every single match that we've played. He leads out the team.
Yes.
He's probably the most experienced player that we have in the squad right now.
Yes.
Exactly. He's seen it all. He's done it all. So I think he's out there to prove a point. And yesterday he was sharp as well. His passing was precise, was on point. He wasn't just, he wasn't doing his thing where he just forces the ball forward.
A slide tackle.
No, even a slide tackle.
You mean the ball? You just kick the ball anyhow.
Like he just kicks the ball anyhow. No. It was more control this time. It's more like more precise, more control. No, he wasn't just like passing the ball. You saw the pass
he gave to AMAD for AMAD to set up Sancho in that offside goal.
Yeah, that offside goal. That's what we expect from a deep line playmaker. Although Casemiro is not necessarily looking for that. I think he has the quality to be able to do that on more occasions rather than just hoof the ball forward every now and then and lose possession. This season, he should just take care of the football. Just take care of the football. He looks fitter, so I think he's able to get around the pitch a lot better than how we are playing for right now.
And you know one thing about him, just to chip in, he's a player that is played into form. The more Casemiro plays, the more he finds his rhythm, the more he gets sharper. And
then I guess it's good he started this preseason so that he can play himself into form.
Because when he came in the first season, he struggled in the first few games, got into his rhythm, and then he became a totally different player for us in that situation.
So it's a head start. It's a head start for him. So I think these are the players who performed. The key talking point. I mean, AMAD, there is the Rashford, there is Amas, and then Casemiro. It's good to also note the reaction of our technical team when we put together this beautiful sequence of play that resulted in McTominay. He should have scored.
Yes.
But then you could see Ruud van Nistelrooy get off his seat, go like, that's what we want to see.
Yes.
This is the kind of football that we should be playing more often.
Yes.
But I always say that if we want to be able to play this football more often, we need better players.
That's true.
You don't need a Scott McTominay at the end of that chance.
Yes.
I don't know why Mason Mount did not start to the main team yesterday, because I felt like if he had started the game, we would have probably scored more goals.
That's true.
Imagine Mason Mount in the situations that Scott
McTominay position. Yeah,
we would have been in great. Whatever. It's just good performance, good results. And I think there's just one more game in America, and then we are back in England.
Yes,
but I think we should get into the injuries now.
Yes,
shouldn't we?
Yeah, let's get into it. It's very, very important. Let's get into the group now. Let's go into the injuries. I don't know. For me, I think it's a curse.
It feels like a curse.
I think it is. I don't know what will convince me otherwise, because Lenny Yoro played 60 plus games for Lille from age 16 to age 17. No injuries. First, and the only injury recorded is an abductor injury last season, and he was out for just 3 days. But comes to United, first game, okay. Second game, the player is gone for 3 good months. 3. So it means he's missing August, he's missing September, he's missing October. So we are likely to see Lenny Yoro once again in November, fully fit, playing for Manchester United.
Absurd.
Absolutely
absurd. It's sickening. Sickening. Yesterday, I looked at our backline and I said to myself, our backline was our biggest problem last season. And
we are back to the same.
As it stands right now, we've not added anybody to it.
We've even lost. We've lost Varane.
I mean, Yoro was supposed to be his replacement.
Exactly. So I'm now saying that even when you take the Yoro and his injury out, we are even worse off. That's the point.
Worse off. Exactly. You're right. You're absolutely spot on. So I was looking at Harry Maguire and Lindelof playing us like, surely we can't go into next season with this. I mean, we can't improve if we keep on keeping on with this, persisting with these things. It's not going to work.
Absolutely.
So something must change in the market. I hope that this Lenny Yoro injury is what, forces our hand. If we are dilly-dallying for whatever reason, I hope this forces our hand so that we go into the markets, push the right buttons, and then get the right players in. If we even have to push players out, we should do that in the earnest.
Yeah.
As soon as possible, if that is what is required to bring in new players. I'm hoping that I was never ever going to say this 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I'm hoping that we get Matthias de Ligt.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of Matthias.
Yes, I know.
It's become a matter of necessity to bring in another centre back.
That deal is in the fridge. It's in the fridge. All we need to do is to just activate or try and agree a deal with.
Activate whatever that we have to do to get that guy in. As soon as probably next week, he has to come in.
Yeah.
It looks like Aaron Wan-Bissaka would be on his way.
Yes.
To West Ham United. We all know why he has to go, although some people do not agree. We all know why he has to go. I mean, if the player is not going to be offered a new contract or sign a new contract, there's no point allowing the guy to run down his contract. His replacement is also a source of debate. Mazraoui. Not the biggest fan of Mazraoui.
Yes.
But then it is what it is. If he's somebody that the coach thinks he can work with, if there's somebody that the club thinks that it's good for the projects. Now that's how I see it. I don't just talk about everything. The club thinks it's good for the projects, then so be it. We need a new right back. I think he fits simply because he's not going to be an outright starter. His price is okay, a very good backup, can also play as left back, multifunctional. I get it. Can even play in midfield. This inverted fullback role, he suits it to the T, so it kind of makes sense. Another player that got off injured was Rasmus Højlund. Scored a wonderful goal against Arsenal and he's out for 6 weeks. It's crazy. We have to talk about his injury record too. He's gotten quite a few injuries since he came in. Last preseason he was injured, couldn't start the season. This preseason he's injured, can't start the season. It's almost like deja vu.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
But Fortunately, I think he's out for only 6 weeks. So what that means is he'll miss the first 3 games of the season.
Yes. So for the month of
international break.
Yes, right after the international
break. Go on international break in a week. Yeah. So it's not.
And that was how it was last season. After the international break, that was when we got to know.
It's almost like we are reliving exactly what happened. Like, it's scary. When you think about it, it's actually scary.
I don't want to think about it that way again. It's okay.
Yeah, it's sickening.
Yeah.
But then I think what that means is I've always been thinking we needed another striker. But then I'm sure in reality, the club will be thinking, if he's just going to miss 3 games and he'll be back when we've already just spent money on another centre forward, and what's the point in signing another striker to just come and congest the area? You get what I'm trying to say? So far as Zexi stays fit for the first month of the season, I think they'll be okay with it. Ideally, I would have wanted somebody like Ivan Toney to still come in, but then it's looking like it might not happen.
Yeah.
What I would have done, I saw Jadon Sancho start yesterday as a false 9. Last summer he was playing as a false 9. What's the point of playing as a false 9 when we can actually get a striker? I would have sold him, sell him, buy another striker. But it looks like Jason Wilcox isn't going to allow that to happen. Now I blame him for Sancho staying at this.
His darling boy.
he's not going to allow him to happen. So Sancho would have to find a role at this football club, either as a false 9, as a 10 left winger, right winger. I don't even know what it is. but we are not going to sell him. So what it means is we're not going to sell him. We're not going to bring in another forward. That's just as simple as that.
Yes.
So that's the situation that we find ourselves in. Our midfield situation, like Scott McTominay started the game yesterday, but we are hearing he may be off to Fulham very soon.
Fulham, add the 5 million to it. Just add it and get him off our hands.
Genuinely, I think it's gonna happen, Kwame. I think it's gonna happen. Just a matter of days. They'll come to a compromise, maybe add-ons or something. The truth is, we need the money. We need the money. Let's stop. See, I've seen this thing going around where fans are like, just go and sign this player, go and sign this player. I think we should just make people understand. Manchester United is not broke, and Manchester United has money. We are not impoverished. We are not poor.
Yes.
But unfortunately, there are some rules that are limiting what we can do because of our past transgressions.
Yes.
When I talk about transgressions, we've mismanaged our finances so badly under previous regimes. We have spent senselessly. We've not brought in revenue in terms of player sales and whatnot. And there are squad cost rules and whatever rules under PSR and then what do they call that?
The FFP
that have literally cock-blocked us.
I mean, if you follow this channel, we've been saying it over and over again and giving you explainers as to why we can't do it. We are crippled by...
We have our hands tied behind our back.
Exactly. So we need to do other things in order for us to be able to spend the money the way we want.
Spend more money. Exactly. So Scott McTominay, for instance... he has to go as soon as possible. Lindelof has to go as soon as possible. Who else? Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I think that would probably happen over the weekend.
So I'm sure by next week, a lot of things. When they come back from tour, a lot of things will happen. Next week.
A lot of things will happen.
These
are the 3 players that I think realistically will lift the club. Wan-Bissaka, Victor Lindelof, and
hopefully we get some 5 million for Hannibal. Hopefully, because
Hannibal match me. Hopefully, from the Scottish people, Celtic. I looked into Celtic's best transfer, and then I think it's 9 million euros. So don't expect much for Hannibal match. So it's gonna be like 5, 6, 7, 8 million pounds.
Put in some sell-on clauses in there and some buyback clauses.
50% buyback clause or sell-on clause or whatever. The magic that we've been
put it in there. Put it in there, and then let's see how things go.
Let's just move on.
Okay, let's talk about Chido Obi Martin. We have already mentioned why United is that club that gives a pathway for young players to come in and thrive and all of that. So we have agreed a deal with Chido Obi Martin, that young Arsenal chap who scored how many goals in a game? 10 goals in a youth
10
game.
goals against Liverpool, one game. I think he broke the record for most goals scored in the Premier League under 18 level. 32 goals in 20 games. That was the previous record was held by Mason Greenwood. If anybody wants to measure this boy by the very best at that level,
yes.
He's that good.
You have, and if you see him physically, he's above all the young, like he's like playing with his young brothers or young kids.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy physically. I mean, when you look at him and all of that. Fabrizio was reporting that he might be considered as the third striker.
You know, Fabrizio didn't say he might be. He said he is.
He is.
That is what we told him. The pitch we made to him is.
And it was Van Nistelrooy that was making that pitch.
Exactly. If you come to Manchester United, you will be the third choice striker, and I can understand why.
Yeah.
I have seen enough of Ethan Whitley to know he's not ready. Yes. I accept it. He's not ready. I'm sorry I'm laughing here, but then
from the first few games that we saw, you know that
honestly he's looked comical over the preseason.
Even the penalties that we played, he went to miss.
He missed the target. Like he didn't even get a ball on target. But besides that, I think he's after one of these games that I watched, Rangers, he missed a very good chance. It was set up by AMAD, yes. And then I think since he missed it,
his confidence
played into his head. His confidence. Do you know why? Because in that game, I could see his touch was okay. But since then,
even helped set up the goal AMAD squad. That flick that he gave, and then.
But since then, his touch is off.
Yeah.
And he's talking to himself. When you start talking to yourself, when you misplace a pass or you miscontrol a ball or you can't make a certain run, that is you saying to yourself, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
Why would sell to Obi Martins that kid that, you know what, you could actually be third choice here.
Yeah.
He's 16. He'll be 17 in November, I think.
Yes.
We've seen Lamine Yamal do bets at 16 years. Now we don't look at those ages.
No. If Jude Bellingham was balling at 16, 17.
Exactly.
He's now 21 and he's looking like he's played football for how many years?
Amar said it. He said it yesterday in the interview. He said if you're good enough, you're old. That's Manchester United. That's what brought him to the club. That's what we actually.
We also pitched that to him.
Yeah, we've been selling that to all these young.
We pitched that to him.
Evidence is there.
Yes.
The evidence is there.
Since 1931. Since 1930.
No, let's not even go that.
We have failed a young.
Look at Mainu and Garnacho.
Yes.
Look at Mainu and Garnacho. Like you don't have to go far. Just Mainu and Garnacho. Just look at these are your.
And they are the references. Anytime these players, they are the references that they are making.
Exactly. They are winning games. They're winning trophies for Manchester United at the age of 18 and 19. Like literally winning them on their own. Like they actually win the games.
They score the goals
to lift trophies. Exactly. So if such a pitch is made to you, I think you'll be sold. You will actually be sold.
Yeah.
Obi Martins is of Nigerian descent, but I think
he can play for Denmark and England.
Yeah. He's been playing for Denmark's youth team, actually.
The youth team.
So he's Danish. He's Danish.
Yes.
You know why I'm saying this, right? Of late we've been having debates on the side about people's nationality. He is a Danish international. He's not Nigerian. He's not English. And so he chooses to be.
Exactly.
He's Danish. So like Rasmus Højlund, we have a big Danish boy. We have a small Danish boy. And in between we have
Zegzi.
A Dutch boy. A Dutch boy.
Daniel Cranton calls him Sexy.
I hope he's sexy enough on the football pitch for us and not just on Instagram.
Sexy. Let's be wrapping up. But you know one thing that I think has helped AMAD, the influence of Garnacho and then Mainu, that's their breakthrough. It seems to have rubbed off him.
It's inspirational.
It's giving him some, like, they're like, see, these are the guys. These are my friends. These are the people I roll with. They've become sort of a clique. It's what we are seeing with the class of 92. That friendship, that bond, it seemed to be creating among them. And that iconic picture of the four of them standing with a trophy in front of them after winning the FA Cup, I mean, it tells us a lot. It tells us our time is up. So, Kwame, let's wrap it up. Against Liverpool, what do you expect to see quickly in that game, in that preseason game? Liverpool are looking sharp, by the way. I watched their game against Arsenal. Mr. Slots.
I haven't seen them, but then that's the storyline. The storyline is Slots versus Ten Hag.
Yes.
So we should put up a decent show. We are getting closer to the start of the season, so I don't expect us to taper off. I expect the performance to be better than what we saw against Betis. Yes. The problem is I don't want any more injuries. Yesterday, what's his name? Rashford gave us a scare. Anthony gave us kind of a scare. I don't know whether it's inconsequential, but then he gave us kind of a scare. I don't want any more injuries before we return to England to play in the final. That is what is most in the final.
Yes.
If people don't know the final I'm talking about, Eric Ten Hag calls it the final. The Community Shield is the final. So ahead of next week, healthy bodies. That's all I pray for. The other guys are coming back, by the way.
Yes.
Bruno Fernandes, Garnacho, Diogo Dalot. Yes. I'm sure Mainu and Shaw will be back soon.
Yes, they'll all be back. They will all be back. I've watched the way. Let me check my time before I say this. I've watched the way other clubs have got their players back quickly, but United seem to have given these boys time to rest. I've just seen a picture of Garnacho coming back to Manchester, and
he saw AMAD putting on the show. I was like, God damn it, that guy is going to take my place. I need to get back as quickly as possible.
That's healthy competition. We need that.
Healthy competition.
We need that. All right. So thank you very much for watching this episode. We hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a fun episode. Absolutely loved everything that we've done today here on this podcast. Remember to subscribe, to hit the notification bell, and also...
Are you going to give them a hint of what we are going to do over the weekend?
Okay. So we have assembled the Avengers. Get ready for it. All I will say is that we have assembled the Avengers. Get ready for it. That's all I'll say. All right. Thank you very much. Happy new month once again. Thank you for joining us, and also for always being with us and for for sharing your comments and everything. We've got a lot in store from you from now till the end of the new season and beyond. This channel has come and we are going to give you nothing but the best. Thank you very much for joining. My name is Kwame. His name is Kwame. We'll see you on the next one. Have a great one. Bye-bye.